thank you so much for joining me today for another video. I was thinking about this for a while and I figured that I'm gonna go ahead and do a full face using Colourpop products because since Colourpop came out with a foundation and powder and just all that good jazz, I can finally do a full face of makeup using only Colourpop products. Well, Colourpop is lacking a mascara, so that I'm gonna have to cheat on, but everything else I think would be fair game for using only Colourpop products. So if you guys want to see how I go from this to this, then just keep on watching. Before we go on, if you are new here and you're seeing me for the very first time, let me introduce myself. My name is Jane, also known as Breath of Beauty. I am so glad that you are here. I hope that we can become good friends, and with that, let's jump right in. Okay, so I'm currently working with Fresh Moisturized and SPF applied face, and I am going to go ahead and just work on my eye makeup first because I just like to do that sometimes. I'm just gonna take a Colourpop No Filter Concealer. Mine's in the shade Light 20 that I'm gonna use as a base for my eyes. Colourpop doesn't have an eyeshadow base, which is why I'm gonna go ahead and use this. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this concealer just a little bit because this spreads out really well. And I'm gonna go ahead and just apply it to my entire lid. Just spread it out. Alright, next I'm gonna take the Colourpop No Filter Sheer Pressed Powder in the shade Medium, and I'm gonna go ahead and set my eyes because I'm using concealer. I need to set my eyes so that the concealer doesn't crease right away. I'm gonna just go ahead and do that. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. And this will also prevent like any sort of skipping while you're trying to blend your eyeshadow. Okay, so let's start working on the eyes. I'm gonna use the Colourpop Perception Palette by Shayla and Colourpop. And I'm gonna use this shade called Culture, just, you know, a simple kind of transition shade. So I'm gonna take that on a fluffy brush and apply it to my transition area. Alright, so next I am taking a smaller fluffy brush and I am using the shade called Revenge. It is a very warm toned brick red kind of color. It's more brown than red though. So I'm going to take that and apply it just right under the transition shade to just deepen up the look more. Now I'm going back with that shade Culture, that transition shade that I used, and I'm gonna go ahead and take that fluffy brush that I used earlier and blend out my edges. Alright, and keeping with the warm tones, I'm gonna go ahead and use this really coppery, shimmery, beautiful color. It's called Strut and Slay, and I'm taking that on a flat brush and I'm gonna apply it to my lid. And I'm not gonna wet the shadow because if you wet it, it's probably gonna be so super metallic, and that's not really the look that I'm going for. I'm going for like a softer, shimmerier, kind of diffused look today. Wow, this look is turning out to be super duper warm. So I'm gonna add a little more of like a dimension to the look because it's looking pretty like just fiery. So I'm gonna use this shade called Played Out. It's like a plummy brown. I'm taking that on a smaller fluffy brush and I'll probably add that to the outer corner. And kind of bring it midway. Now let's go ahead and blend out all the harsh edges with a smaller fluffy brush. I decided that I want to add a little more dimension, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this shade called Diva. It's kind of gold, more yellower, shimmery shade, but it's not like quite as yellow gold as this TF shade. So I'm gonna just go with the more muted gold shade and put it on the inner third of my eye. Okay, so now I'm taking the Colourpop I Think I Love You palette, and I'm taking this matte, or it's sort of like a shimmery, but it's more matte than shimmery, creamy shade here, and I'm gonna highlight my brow bone. I'm doing this because the Perception palette doesn't really have like a shade like this, so yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. I'll be finishing up the lower lash line after I go ahead and apply foundation and everything. So next, let's line my eyes. So I usually wear like the Japanese waterproof, bulletproof liquid eyeliner that really doesn't budge throughout the day. But I just have like the pencil liner from Colourpop. I don't think this is even black. It's like the cream gel liner and it's in the shade Downtown LA, DTLA. I'm gonna go ahead and just line my eyes with this liner. I'm not a huge fan of this right now because it's kind of dragging on my eyes, and that's a pet peeve of mine. But it is an all Colourpop makeup look, so got a deal. Right now that I've lined my eyes, I'm gonna go ahead and add a bit of powder on top of the liner just to kind of set it, because I don't really know about the longevity of this liner. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that shade Played Out. Again, it's like that darker brown shade. And I'm gonna apply this with a small smudging brush right on top of the liner and kind of smudge it out a little bit and create a more diffused, like blown out, soft kind of winged liner. Alright, and I just went ahead and added this Colourpop cream gel liner in the shade Honey Dude on my waterline on the bottom lash line, just to kind of wake myself up because I feel a little sleepy. And I'll work on the lower lash line again after foundation, but this girl needs some brows. And I'm gonna take the Colourpop brow pencil. I have it in the shade Black and Brown, and I'm gonna use this just to fill in my brows off camera, and I'll be right back. My brows are definitely sisters or maybe even cousins today, not twins. Well, I don't want them to be twins anyway, but I'm gonna go ahead and use the Colourpop brow gel just to kind of feather them out a little bit. It's called the Colourpop Brow Boss Gel, and it's kind of got this like waxy texture, but I think it does a really good job of feathering out your brows. Alright, let's just work on our face now, shall we? So there's no primer that Colourpop came out with, so I'm just using like my moisturizer and serum as my primer, and I'm going in with the Colourpop No Filter Foundation. Mine is in the shade Medium 80, and I will have like all of the products that I'm using. I probably reviewed it, so I'll have them linked in like cards. So if you're interested in like individual reviews of these products that I'm using, then go ahead and click on those, by the way. So let's take a couple pumps here and just dot it on my face. Did I add too much? I feel like I learned this from my first impression video, and yet I repeated the same mistake. Alright, I'm gonna just blend this in with a beauty sponge because I'm not really going for like a super high coverage look today. So yeah, just using this good old beauty sponge to blend it all out. Alright, next I'm gonna use my Colourpop No Filter Concealers. I have two shades here, Medium 30 and Light 20, and these are the old names. I believe if you go to the website you can find like the new names of what these are. I'm just gonna take the Light 20 shade and put it on all the points I want to highlight a little bit, and Medium 30 for where I want to spot conceal. And again, I'm gonna blend this away with my beauty sponge. Alright, next I'm taking my Colourpop No Filter Setting Powder, and I'm gonna add some to the areas I just applied concealer to. And I'm applying it with the damp beauty sponge. Gonna get these smile lines. I'm gonna add more than I did last time in my first impressions because it didn't seem to do much when I applied just a little bit. So I'm almost gonna bake here. And I'm just gonna leave it like this for a bit, and I am going to powder the rest of my face just because I don't want to powder the entire face with translucent powder. I'm using the No Filter Sheer Press powder that I used earlier to set my eyes. I'm gonna use that to slightly just set the rest of my face. Next, I'm going to take this bronzer that I haven't really been using because this has a bit of a more sheen to it, and I only do that during like the summertime when, you know, it makes a little more sense to have really glowy skin. I usually use a matte one that's called Afternoon Delight, I believe, but this one, I don't know the shade name because I don't use it often. I will find out what the shade name is and link it in the description bar below, and I'll link the review I did of these bronzers. So why don't we just apply it with a fluffy angled brush and just kind of contour out our cheeks as well as warm up the face overall. I am gonna skip blush because I am not a huge blush girl, and plus I don't really feel like this look really warrants blush. So I'm gonna use the Colourpop Pressed Powder highlight in the shade Here Kitty Kitty. It is my favorite highlight. Again, I do talk about this product quite a lot, so I'm just gonna take it on my Real Techniques setting brush and apply it to my high points. Alright, so now why don't we go ahead and brush away all of the loose powder. Goodbye. Let's just finish up the eyes now. I'm gonna take that Perception palette again, and I'm gonna take just like a little flat, denser, fluffy yet flat and dense brush, and taking that shade called Culture, I'm gonna add it to the lower lash line, just to balance out the eyes a little bit. Next, I'm taking a teeny tiny amount of Played Out and adding it just on the outer lower lash line. I'm connecting it up to the top. Then taking that shade Culture again, I'm gonna blend out that shade. Alright, let's highlight the inner corner. So I'm gonna take this shade called Unbothered and just apply it to the inner corners of my eyes. Time to curl my lashes and wear some mascara. I'm gonna skip falsies for today because it's hot out and I don't really feel like wearing falsies, you know. Less stuff, the better. So just gonna curl my lashes and then apply my favorite mascara. It's my Facio mascara. I've talked about this in my favorites before, but this is the best. So good. I love this mascara. Right now, all that's left are the lips, and I'm gonna take my Colourpop Ultra Matte Lip in the shade WYD, and it's like a nice spiced nude shade. And then last but not least, I have, oh, you know, I said that Colourpop doesn't have a primer. I lied. It does have a priming spray, but I'm not a huge fan of this, I don't think, because the spray is just very aggressive on this one, but I do need a setting spray, and this will do, you know, and it's Colourpop. So I have the Colourpop Amethyst Crystal Priming Spray, but I'm gonna use this as a setting spray. All right, so let's spray this. Oh gosh. Oh no. Oh no. It's so aggressive. This is not good because it's like dripping down my face, you know? I'm just gonna take the beauty sponge and just dab, dab, dab any excess because this is an intense spray. So I really don't recommend it as a setting spray. And I knew that it was somehow gonna give me trouble at the end, but this is an all Colourpop makeup look, so you gotta make do. Try not to get this in your eyes because it stings. Alright, so I think that's pretty much it for the all Colourpop makeup look that I have brought you today. I hope you guys enjoyed creating this look with me, and let me know which products you have tried that you like and which products you don't like out of all the face products that I've used today. I had a lot of fun creating this look. I think it's fun, very summery, very appropriate for the super hot weather out there. It's like heat on my eyes. So with that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I really appreciate you guys, like your continued support and really sweet words and just your overall kindness. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys. And with that, I will see you next week. Bye guys. Mwah.